Luna, who has good attack speed and a crappy range, is going to be hard pressed to either commit or run away from a supernova. It's a hard decision to make in the crunch of the battle.
I agree with your point though that you're saying earlier. Like, Luna has a good King's Guard, Queen's Guard, I guess.
Queen's
in this
Guard,
case.
yeah.
Yeah, Queen's Guard for Luna. You know, she can do her terrorist acts as the DK. Oh wow, this is really going against the anime idea, huh? But she has good protecting cores in the Doom and the DK. Cores that can easily go in. I feel like Abaddon can do the same thing. The save here is not really that great. Your save is really just against the hookshot, perhaps. Maybe the Avalanche to some degree. But at least you have some healing from the Abaddon. This is a game where SVG could consider the Holy Locket himself just to amp that healing. But I do like the draft overall by Quincy. I think both drafts are pretty solid. I just feel like this time Quincy has been able to adapt to OG's draft much better.
30 seconds to battle.
Yeah, I'd concur with that. I think that makes a lot of sense. Because last time, I think I didn't really see the draft's problems until Sumail was, just shoving all of the illusions down into the lanes. Then it was obviously a little bit apparent, and by then, Quincy just weren't in a position to do anything about it. I think this time they've given themselves a pretty nice out of this game. As we'll see Sumail, the king, go versus the Abba, who's yet to put a scope on anything. There it is now with the Aphotic Shield. But it's 3 runes here for the likes of OG. They will be unable to get through this Abba, though. It's a little bit too tanky. But nice right-click speed there. Fast hands on Sumail.
Since it's early, I want to point out this really small play by Notil I loved. He purposely missed his first Fire Spirit to trigger the Aphotic Shield, right? Because he was trying to be on point and thinking, I'm not moving, he's definitely not going to miss it. Purposely misses the first one because he gets dispelled anyway. Immediately hits him with the second one right after, and he couldn't dispel it. Yeah, small things, but I like that. I like that idea. I also like the offensive dual lane. Abaddon, traditionally one of the best dual lane cores, or supports rather, ever, honestly. And he deals really well with the Axe, deals nicely with the Phoenix as well. I think he's actually quite a hard counter, and that way you get the Doom versus Darkseer matchup, which is the ideal matchup for Lelis. Especially if you find the Purge Creep, there's no way he's dying here.
Yeah, Lelis is going to be going into this Midas build here, presumably on the Doom. At least that's what he's queued up here in his quick buy. We'll see here if that changes as the lane continues to develop. Mid lane, not going to be too exciting here. Thompson, of course, is without the toss, isn't going to have a whole lot of kill threat. But top lane, there's some kill threat onto No-Tell, because they will be able to punish him for taking the level 1 Fire Spirit. Sumail even taking a bit of extra damage.
It's going to be... I mean, I think as Axe, you actually don't need to dominate the lane if you carry, because you recover quite nicely as well. But it does suck a bit that you're up against a ranged hero, and you don't feel like you can take advantage of your strong early game here. And the Abaddon is also not a hero that Axe likes to deal with once they have the Curse. I like that he went for the 1 point in Curse. Yesterday we saw Celery, for example, going full heal, and I appreciate how kind of person Celery is, and he wants to just help his teammates, but I think the Curse is really valuable against any melee lane. Oh, he took a last hit there. SVG, no, your shield took a last hit. What is this?
How dare you?
How dare you?
Need all the farm we can get on this Luna. Yeah, I like it here. It is going to put a lot of pressure onto No-Tail. Of course, it's going to force him to trade a little bit less than he would like to. Of course, Phoenix always able to get kind of the last laugh with the Icarus dive as Sumail. Got to be a little bit careful here. All the way thinking about going back for that 4th stack for the curse, but we'll think better of it. As,
there's that thought process where like, oh, if I hit him, I'll hit him even faster. Oh, but then he'll spin even more.
Then he'll spin. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's the thing.
But now he's going to die. Sumail for free? I genuinely just went back for it, and SVG, that Orb of Venom, it's punished him pretty hard here, giving it so much space to UR. And yeah, it's true that that you can recover, but the idea is not to die in the lane, unfortunately. Sumail doesn't have the highest armor early, so the damage from the Luna and the Abaddon really does pile up. Really good base damage on an Abaddon.
Yep, both of these slows being incredibly annoying. Yawar, not like this is too bad of a lane for him anyway. Very similar to something like a Timbersaw lane. You don't mind using all of your mana on Lucent Beams just to be able to harass and get Sumail within that kill range. Thompson already utilizing the toss here versus Quinn. But Quinn, 2 points into the Dragon's Blood here. He's gone now for 1-1-2. It was 0-1-2 at level 3 for him. Caught him. They are fighting, though, versus Lelis.
Yeah. Oh, the vacuum sends him back, and Lelis might just die to the Seb, just in range of the Iron Shell. That's a bit too fast. No, creeps are coming for him. Oh, the creeps are attacking Lelis. You ate my brother, now you must die. Seb will fall though to the acorn shot from MSS, but That was quite the revenge of the creeps. The Scorched Earth triggered all the aggro around the area.
Yeah, Lelos got ganked by the neutrals right there, which wasn't expected, unfortunately for him.
Finally, some justice.
But,
Doom's eating creeps every year. They never get any retribution.
it is at the very least a deny. So, you know, it's
true.
not the best news for Lelos. They are able to get the kill onto Seb. But it's not too bad either, because he's going to be able to get the free TP on back. He doesn't have to use any of these tangos, and without a healing salve, he would have been pretty low HP for the rest of the laning stage, which is not what you want versus the Starkseer clock lineup. In the top lane, though, Notel does not have the Icarus dive, but LOA just doesn't have the HP here, as the glaives that you are throwing here, triggering a couple of these spins, are more than enough to almost completely kill the Abba.
No, but so since Yawar is still having a pretty nice farming lane, you know, and definitely he's a bit faster a farmer than the Axe. I don't think it's too worrisome right now. The onus right now for OG, I think, stands on a really strong Thompson that did win his lane against the DK, and will now start to gank all over the map as he likes to do. Oh, Thompson's actually considering a Midas here. Interesting. As per usual, you look at whatever Thompson's building and you go, oh, okay. Maybe he's looking to be like a secondary option for a carry in case the Axe doesn't work out, you know, instead of a Tempo Tiny, being able to rotate into being a true carry in the late game. I don't mind this with a Shard build.
You know, I kind of want to think that, you know, Quincy swapped the lanes here, of course, going for the Luna versus the Axe of Sumail. And they asked, hey, do you want to switch these lanes? And Sumail went, nah, it's okay, I'll just beat him.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah. It's actually a true brother against brother lane.
It is, and I mean, good denies though on Yawar. I think that's what that tip was about. Must have gotten a deny on the range creep. Our Tiny though is looking for a gank. He will be hard pressed to connect this one because he is sitting underneath a freshly placed Quincy Observer Ward. So he's going to go ahead and rotate back to the mid lane. Take Grow at level 6, by the way, here for our Tiny.
Interesting. Again, not like a ganking Tiny. Wait, Sumail in the top lane could be in trouble. I don't think he's going to die here. No-Tail's here to cover him. Nice Spirit, and Sumail should be fine. In fact, SVG now in trouble, but has the magic stick. We're not going to die to the Spirits either. So yeah, Thompson's going for like almost a carry Tiny for the mid lane. Playing it more like a win condition, probably allowing Sumail to be more of the tempo controller this game, and the space creator, you can call him. I think that works out, honestly. I think carry X is best played when you play him with tempo, so I don't mind that. And Tiny could mitigate your weakness in the late game. As I said, Tiny Shard, honestly, a legitimate carry.
So
they played it in China once.
What do you think we're going to see then? Do you think this is going to be like a throwback to the TI9 Tinies going for that Echo Saber Ags into the Daedalus, or like what?
No, I think it's the carry Tiny that we saw in China a while ago. I mean, not with a Midas added, but like S and Y. Maybe probably still a Blink Dagger, but like, and get by the Shard as soon as you can. And just play like a normal strength core, honestly. That's what I'm thinking. And it's all Karass eventually. Like the IO Tiny, you know, back in those days when the IO Tiny was a thing. I think that's how you're going to build it.
Okay. I like the idea of that, then. We'll
but
see how
it's
it works
Thompson,
out.
so it could just be Midas E-Blade. I mean, knowing him. Right?
Yeah, good point. Good point.
So,
MSS is going to find himself in a bit of trouble here. We've got now still no cogs actually ready for him, but they won't even need it with the vacuum pulling him back into his death. Double Ion Shell level 3 now quickly tearing through the squirrel.
All right. It's an easy kill, obviously, at MSS. Not much you can do against Darkseer. I mean, honestly, anything that can catch you in the trees pretty much kills you. So the vacuum is quite crucial. Breaks your scurry as well.
Alright, King has already moved into the jungle here, farming up a couple of stacks. Yaba's going to be here just to soak a little bit of the experience. There he is, now up to level 4. But with that Vanguard completed, there's not really such an easy way to kill this Axe right now, unless you get an Eclipse onto him.
SVG just running in and out. There's only one true king. Actually joking. One true king. Oh, no. Keeps trying to harass here. Sumail. Taking away the experience kind of important, honestly. As SVG does. I mean, he just gets a free level from this. You compare his levels to the Phoenix who's trying to sap the experience in the lane. Kind of even. No-Tail trying to protect this tower, but might die as a result. No-Tail. He has Icarus dive, but Bushwhack, Lucent Beam on top of that. They're chaining their stuns well. No-Tail a bit too fast. Will get away.
Yeah,
Bottom lane. Lelis in trouble. He does have a Doom, and he used the Doom on Saksa, and will get the kill as a result. SVG even comes in here to heal him back up.
Quinn, though, still chasing
Seb could be in trouble. We have a Dragon Tail available. For now, slowing him down. Seb has the Surge, and now ready. TPs instead. Do they have enough damage to punish this?
The
No, they don't. Seb gets back home.
Even the
with
neutrals
a sliver
helping
of
out
life.
there. Yeah, he's going to be able to escape. They will eventually catch up to No-Tail back top lane, so they do punish him not having that Icarus dive at the ready. This does allow Luna to then cut the wave and start applying some pressure into this top lane. The nice part about switching and kind of going aggro with your carry in the side lane is that you've already made the rotation, right? So this is normally where Luna would want to be at this stage of the game. Farming the jungle a little bit, sure, but then eventually looking to push back top lane as there goes Thompson, finding the Avatos kill there onto LOA. That's going to be just him. Well, smart rotation. He has a ward here, so he might have seen him eventually start walking on over in that direction, but no ward there for the vision. Just a nice kill.
No-Tail? I mean, the amount of time that No-Tail's spending on the top lane and preventing them from just having a free push, it's actually kind of useful for his team. It's giving his team a bit of liberty to go and gank and do other stuff in other lanes. The problem, though, is that if he keeps dying, he's just also giving them a free creep. MSS.
Yeah. Doesn't have Icarus dive.
There's Acorn shot still available. Oh, maybe this was a bait the whole time. We're seeing a rotation. No, No-Tail's already dead. Thompson's here. Kills the courier. And might also kill a carry. On top of that, Samael has the Berserker's Call. Oh, nice bushwhack though, but Yawar might just die. Hit Samael one extra time. And that canceled Yawar's life.
Leslau.
Zaxa finds Lelis, by the way. Oh no, it's not going to be easy for Leslau to get away. And he's going to die here. Simple Iron Show, Wall Replica even set up. Quinn and MSS coming in. The reinforcements going for Saksa. They stun the Clockwork. Just go through the wall. Escape thanks to the slow. Saksa gets hit by the bushwhack. No chance. He's going to die as well.
Sub, by the way, is going for the very classic Darkseer build here. Just going Vanguard, not too rare of an item and a great one to have, of course, versus the Luna, then straight into the Crimson Guard. So he is prepping for some earlier engagements, hoping to keep his foot on the gas versus the likes of Quincy crew, making sure that this Luna is not going to be able to outscale. I think the game plan this time around for Quincy is that if they can take this late game, they'd be more than happy to do so. They're probably looking at this lineup that OG has and going, oh yeah, Luna late game will absolutely crush these guys. They just got to get there. OG are of course, going to do everything in their powers to stop that from happening. As here's Midas now being delivered to Thompson. He is queuing up the Blink Dagger next, so still looking to be able to accelerate his farm through a couple of Blink, Avatosses.
We'll see how this works out for them. This deviation from the build, it honestly might just completely lose them the tempo and also the late game if Tiny can't make it, because the Blink Dagger will be much more delayed. But I think the idea is pretty solid. As you play with the Axe tempo a bit more, right? Because you go Blink Vanguard on the Axe, or actually he's going to go for the Yasha straight up. And then that way you play maybe around the 20-minute mark. Tiny is not going to gank too much early. You don't have great ganking partners, so instead you spend this time farming.
Smokes break.
I think the logic checks out.
Oh, No-Tail. Just Icarus dives right into MSS, unfortunately. He will be taken down. Breathe fire, killing the Phoenix, as he will go down just like he was born in flames.
But meanwhile, I feel like No-Tail is pressured here because he's like, okay, my mid is farming, my carry's farming, my offlaner's farming. I need to create space. But since you're just a Phoenix, what you need to do is just dive for that space.
Yep. Blocks a camp while he's at it, at least.
Not bad. I mean, the tier 1's still up top, so that's No-Tail's job done.
Yeah, we've not pushed any towers yet for the likes of OG. Thompson now with Midas. This bonus attack speed is really, really nice to have on a Tiny. Unsurprisingly, a hero with 0 agi gain does benefit quite a bit from bonus attack speed items. And with the trees, that is going to allow them to have some pretty significant tower damage in, as Leslau making haste here towards that DD rune. We'll think better of it. The searched up his tops, and he will be able to beat him there. DD in the bottle now for the mid lane Tiny.
Hook shot. They find the squirrel, but MSS still trying to get away. Nice little bushwhack. A Wall Replica's annoying him as the scurry goes through the trees, but Glock's too fast. That surge, MSS using the sharpshooter to get away. He'll survive thanks to the Phonic Shield, and the punished one will be Saksa. Nice little Phonic Shield there towards the end, and very well played MSS. Good thinking in the sharpshooter.
Yeah, Quinn as well was sitting on 2k gold, had the BKB queued up, but decided to go proactively into the Blink instead. I like this a lot. We'll see here if OG can look to punish it. Thompson still has this DD rune in the bottle, holding onto it as No-Tail. Icarus diving aggressively, perhaps just for vision. Holding on to that Supernova, deciding against dropping it here and now. Yawar is in the vicinity, so he could look to join these fights, but does not have the point in Eclipse. So wouldn't be much value here in a team fights other than the right-click damage and the occasional Lucent Beam. Quincy then will acquiesce the mid lane tower. As OG happy with their progress here, we'll move into the jungle and look to boot the Luna.
Yeah, take over the Luna's jungle completely. More importantly, also swap jungles. Take over the much more valuable Radiant jungle, because now naturally Quincy will have to, if they want to regain the jungle, it's kind of impossible, and you can still put 1 or 2 useful wards on top like they're doing here, and OG can regain control of their own. Hook shot actually read well by Quinn. Not gonna catch up to this guy. This guy plays Ember Spirit. What are you thinking?
Yeah, and that was all thanks to this Observer ward here. Saksa thinking he's got a ward up on the high ground. A good guess. He might decide to ferry out a couple more sentries because there's no way he just makes that blink like that off of the sound cue alone.
Did you see him pinging all over the place? Like, there's a ward here or here. They're using so many sentries. They can't find this ward. Sometimes the best hiding spot is just in plain sight, huh?
Very true. It's pretty
Literally
common.
Out of the outpost, like just barely out of the range of the outpost.
It's a super common ward spot, though. I've been watching a tons of replays and keeping an eye on warding. Usually the most contested ward spots are right here on the cliff, and then the second one that they like to put wards in is going to be right here next to the outpost. This one is just simply dewarded too often, and this one's a bit sneakier, and it feels a little bit awkward to put a sentry right there next to your outpost to protect it.
Quincy's got to watch those replays too, because they didn't guess this, and the ward is going to expire. Ended up being pretty... Sorry, OG's got to watch those replays, what I meant to say.
That's where...
Quincy take advantage of that, and DK's alive, continues to farm. They're going to need to... for him to become a secondary carry too, if the Tiny and Axe will both beef up themselves.
Yep. We sometimes see, by the way, just continuing to talk about wards, I guess. Welcome to the ward segment of this cast. We sometimes see the same done here on the in the Radiant side, but the trees are a little bit worse, and this staircase is not as frequently accessed by Radiant heroes compared to the Dire double staircase here, as they are going to be able to just escape in time here, making sure that they're not going to lose anyone out from the jungle as Quincy looks to reestablish control.
Not to flame, of course. We were just joking about those warding
No,
spots.
of course.
In the middle of the game, having to guess, like you just see that hook shot, you go, where is it? You know, you just use 2 sentries. It's not that big a deal.
Yep.
They probably know. They just don't think about it in the heat of the moment. They are players after all. We have full vision. It's much easier to call these things out. There's going to be a smoke coming out from the OG. Let's see what they can find with this. Thompson now with his Blink Dagger, ready for his power spike. But he has to find someone to use it, right?
Right now, holding bottom are just the 2 supports who Quincy Crew will gladly just, sacrifice if they need to. Thompson with the blink will find Velas. Avatos in place as there's going to be now the Supernova on top. Hook shot out from Saksa. Catches Thompson and not the Devil. They will be able to smack the Devil out of him there with that last tree out from Thompson to secure the kill.
Well done. That kill pretty valuable, honestly, because Doom, highest net worth, honestly, in the game. He went for the Midas build as well, so you punish him before he gets that BKB, slow on that BKB. The old 11 build that he popularized, really, in the major. He always ran with this in the leagues.
Oh, hold that thought. That blink from Quinn is going to be able to stop the Icarus dive first. Bushwhack here is going to secure the kill, along with that sharpshooter. Kill goes to Quinn. Seb has got nothing left to do, but just surge himself away out of the enemy jungle. The ward did get placed down. We'll see if this is scouted and de-warded here by Quincy Crew. LOA is going to miss the initial ward, unfortunately for him. And that probably means this ward is going to live. But there is now Sumail finishing off not only the Vanguard, but this Manta style. We'll see what he queues up next, whether it'll be the Blink or that Aghanim Shard to purchase that one right at the 20-minute mark, as he's already using these illusions to farm in the enemy jungle a bit.
I think you queue up both and you see, depending on timings, right? Because if you can buy Blink beforehand and you feel like Shard is only a minute off, sure. But if for some reason you decide to fight now and it doesn't really work out for you, or you lose a bit of gold, you're farming slower than you'd expect, and you just go straight for the Shard instead to recover. I still think you have enough time to farm the Blink, though. It's not that expensive. And Axe with Manta style, even without the Shard, farms crazy fast.
Absolutely. Speaking of farming fast, Thompson is going into this Echo Saber, so I wonder if we are going to see this Aghanim Scepter eventually get queued up here.
Is the Midas... Okay, so maybe the Midas not to change builds whatsoever, but just to match the timings on Axe instead. Which I might even like more. You know, like a complete shift from the build is more exciting, obviously, as a caster, but when you see this, it's like, it's playing to the strength of your draft. Acknowledging that Quincy Crew is not going to fight you early. You don't have someone to go ganking with. What do you do with the extra gold? Do you buy drums? Just go for the Midas and ensure that you have some late game progression. I'm okay with that too.
Mm-hmm. And if there's one thing I do remember from TI9 2 years ago now, it's the ridiculous amounts of damage this Tiny Axe did end up doing. And even to these tanky strength heroes might be enough to just get them killed. Of course, the slow is as well still procs. They removed it from the Monkey King Wukong's command, but it still works on the Tiny Aghanim Scepter tree volley.
Nope. They go for SVG here. As they lose the tower, though, SVG happy to die for this tower. If they can actually get it. Yeah, Dragon Poison will do the trick. Quinn staying to the very end and blinking just in time.
Shub, Quincy, they do smoke for that one, but it's not really anything too big. Too big of a loss there. Soxa digs up a bounty rune and has his king pick it up, of course.
That's adorable. Look at that respect they have for Sumail.
For you, my liege.
I am but a humble support.
Thompson, I mean, he's making really great progress. He's already now got the Oblivion staff. So again, more attack speed. What a bonus 50 attack speed now on the Tiny. It's weird to see him attacking this fast without a wisp.
Yeah, he walked in. He's like, I'm gonna Infernal Blade Sumail, but let's not push this any further until my teammates come in.
Real quick, Lelis, of course, with the Purge creep consumed, so he's going to be digesting that one, I think, for the rest of the game.
Okay, Doom immediately for Sumail. Good choice, honestly, activates the BKB. They try to toss him to safety. Seb, on the run away, giving him the surge. Immediately purged by Lelis. He was waiting for that. He knew that was going to happen, and that guarantees the kill on Sumail. Where's the tip, Lelis? Where's the offended spray?
Not from him yet. You're down one game versus OG. You don't start to try and tilt them now. If anything, that usually just powers them up, and it turns the anime music up to 11.
Yeah. Smoke here from Quincy Crew.
Still a DD on Quinn. This could be bad for OG. It's Thompson will break the smoke here. Quinn, though, with no vision, doesn't have anyone to jump onto. We'll see Thompson, though, in the smoke. We have a hook shot out from Soxa, as well as actually the Supernova. Buyback available on Sumail. He's going to hold it for now as the back catches 3. Yawar, though, pops the BKB, and now the Eclipse Creep Wave, though, soaking it up, as there's going to be now the Supernova onto the high ground. Yawar going to hit this one, and along with his team, will be able to dispatch of the egg. In the meantime, they've also lost Soxa, and Seb, without a surge, is easy pickings here for the likes of Quincy Crew. Leslau, the only one to go down in that engagement.
Yawar on point with his targeting there. Thompson. Okay, they actually might still go for him. They just dispelled the Battle Hunger. Sumail avoid a Dragon Tail. Well done. Still caught SVG with that Berserker's Call. No big deal. Yeah, so the idea of using the Eclipse to cover himself while he was hitting the egg from the low ground, very, very smart there by Yawar. And even the Glaze ended up killing some of the supports. OG had no way to murder him there because he knew he had just wasted their big combo. Well played. That was a very consistent play.
Yeah, I like it. It's going to be a big win. Unfortunately, without the ultis and Elder Dragon form ending, they're not going to be able to turn this into objective, whether that be a tier 2 or Roshan. But it's the nice play of aggression. It's the opportunistic smoke, right? Where hey, we just got a kill. We used a couple of ultis. Their counter initiation's really weak right now. Let's go and look for an extra +1, an extra +2. Works out beautifully for Quincy Crew. They extend their network lead just to a friendly little 3K here. They're going to have to be a bit careful. What that also does, by the way, is it buys them time for Lelis to get his Doom back online. It's 20 seconds compared to if they don't fight right now. OG likely group up and look to fight around the cooldown of Doom. They just don't have that option anymore.
Yeah, and because of that fight, you also delayed the Blink Dagger a bit further on Sumail. I mean, you just got the Shard instead, like I said, right? If you feel like you can't farm the Blink Dagger in time, you need to go for recovery. Shard is better, it improves your farming speed, but this delays the time where you can fight even further, right? And oh, okay, Thompson is going to be going for SNY, by the way, so some mix, somewhere in between of what we were saying.
It's the ultra scaling, isn't it, right? It's of course Echo Saber, because it's a great farming item, especially on Tiny. It's got a lot of use for that doubled attack. SNY, because of course Sanj is pretty busted, especially because the healing that you receive from Sunray is going to be buffed not only by this eventually Holy Locket, but also buffed by your own Sanj. And being a tanky hero, that's a lot of HP, that's a lot of healing, and we don't have the best burst, to be honest, for you. Thompson's not going to be dying within, the first 6 or whatever Eclipse shots that could connect onto him if there's a Sunray on top of him. So it's I like the builds. It's just pure late game scaling, giving them a plan B into the late game should they need it.
You're also Cyber Resistance is also really good against the Doom, of course, and against the Dragon Tail, so it's always very useful. And honestly, whenever I spend time with pro players, carries particularly, and they build anything that's anything new as a carry, they always suggest SNY. I remember I was talking to Hector about it. It's like, what if you built Mars carry? He's like, well, I would build SNY. What if you built Winter Wyvern carry? Well, SNY is pretty good. And I always suggest this. The stat resist just feels so natural, and the movement speed helps you so much. You never go wrong with that item.
I was convinced that they were going to nerf the status resist aspect of that item, and they didn't. I think they nerfed the HP and healing amp and the lifesteal amp on it, which is something, I suppose, but it's no surprise that with status resist, it's still one of the most popular items of the entire patch. At least the Sanj.
I mean, just you having it, unless they nerf it to an absurd amount, I just think it's like if they were to nerf it even to 60% or 14% or whatever it is, it would still be useful.
They were pushing down bottom. Quincy, of course, scouting this are going to force them back as they're scouted by the Rocket Flare and say, if you want the tier 2 tower, that's fine, but we'll take Roche for that one. OG now, having committed the rotations, are going to have to look for a fight, so they're going to smoke up. All the ultimates are ready. Sumail has Blink, Manta, and that Shard ready to go. This is the big fight for them here, if they could swing it their way.
Yeah. That's a good ward. They want to secure this fight for sure. Rocket Flare for more vision. Sumail knows where they are. Is want the Abaddon though. Good position by SVG, but instead he finds Quinn. Can he burst him down in time? Hasn't used the Manta just yet. Trying to force that BKB. There's a Dragon Tail. The illusions are actually tearing through Quinn though, with a hook shot keeping him in place. Now the Supernova. Restart this fight. Thompson also went in, but all Quincy Crew has to do right now is to retreat. Those illusions really want Quinn's head. But they're soon to expire. 3 more seconds. They're not going to get any more spins.
Oh.
And that's going to be... Oh, maybe they attempt against Lelis' life. They stop a Doom. Thompson went a bit too far. Eclipse punishes him. And now the Doom used on Seb. He can no longer help his teammates. No more Surges. Sumail has to fight this. Goes for the Luna. Monta's not ready. Luna gets destroyed. No chance for Yawar as they spin her to death. Seb actually chasing after the Doom. The tables have been turned. He's not afraid of your Doom any longer. Maybe they chased a bit too far as they catch Seb against the tree. They still have a Dragon Tail to keep him stunned for a while. He can no longer move, and he's going to go straight to the grave. Saksa does manage to TP in time as Sumail and N0tail retreat. But not that bad a team fight for OG, all things considered. However, Quincy Crew stood their ground well.
Yeah, I'd call that super worth, to be honest. I mean, you get through the long duration BKB on Quinn, and in fact, you probably put the fear of this Manta. You put the fear of the king in him, don't you? I mean, he was getting chunked. He had to back and run away from those Axe Illusions alone. Because even though, again, in its nerfed form, it was still making pretty darn quick work of him here. And that's the long duration BKB. You know, that's you fighting through this tanky DK without being able to Avatos him, without being able to hit him with Fire Spirits or Sunray. It only gets easier from here after that one. And that is going to be, you know, well received by OG. But this counter initiation here by Sumail is just so strong. Immediately jumping his brother and managing to get the kill, it makes this fight just absolutely wonderful here for them. As there's going to be a kill real quick here onto Saksa. Down he goes, broken and killed off quite easily. Take another look at that fight real quick. As I'll keep my eyes here, because for now OG actually Thompson, he's got his eyes down bottom, so we'll look at that fight later, because in goes Thompson, and he's going to get the kill onto Lelis.
And in goes Sumail as well, finding a little squirrel. Spin, no spins actually. Kind of unlucky here for Sumail. Thompson's chasing after, they still have a toss, just toss an illusion. The tree first, try to slow him down. MSS scurrying in the trees. Is he actually going to get away? They have an avalanche? No, they don't find him. MSS, a bit too slippery.
Caught you in your stubbies. Absolutely, MSS. That one is going to be a wasted kill, but it's still a win for OG. Again, it was just as simple as them running up and punishing them for sticking around a little bit too long. They've got really great vision here. They dropped this ward right before. Pardon me, they TP'd and ended up fighting when they scouted the Roshan attempt to make sure that they could set up for kills like this. They knew that there wasn't any counter initiation. If DK was there, you don't make that play, but he wasn't, and they knew that because of the ward. DK, though, is continuing to farm up as Quinn now rapidly approaching this Aghanim Scepter, nearly completed here at this stage. And Lelis is going for the Shivas, nearly having that one done. Mask of Madness, next item, Satanic here for Yawar, as they will make the jump. Sumail with the call onto the mid lane, taking a lot of damage. The Acorn Shot only gets him a couple more spins. Lelis has the Doom at the ready. He's fallen quite low. There's going to be a Supernova and a Saksa hook shot to put him down. We get the Eclipse, but only for a couple of seconds. As Luna taken down immediately. A second hook shot from the overclock here. Catches Quinn, pushes him into the arms of Thompson, who's stunned up immediately as Quinn pops the BKB, but held down by the call of Sumail. The right-click damage and the spins coming through real strong out from the King. As there's going to be another Icarus dive forward by N0tail to slow him to a crawl. Thompson smacks him with the tree to get up the kill. That is 4 dead on the side of Quincy Crew, all starting there with the jump from Sumail.
That is insane. The speed at which OG can play this game, because of, you know, their cooldowns are really just Berserker's Call at this point. Yeah, Supernova's useful, so is Hookshot, but it's really just Berserker's Call. And they go in with that like madmen, and Quincy Crew is not even getting a chance to breathe right now. Like, I don't even think I wasn't even expecting that initiation. Between that and the Surge, of course, you just walk in and murder. Sumail now takes a free rack to this, I'm imagining.
Yep. I mean, that is the thing. They are kind of, well, they're not that weak in pushing, especially if we do get this tree grab talents, or the Aghanim Shard is what I meant to say.
Radiant's middle
But
barracks
that fight was just so brutal. Yawar finds himself just in the wrong spot. I don't think was expecting OG to be, immediately reinforcing for that team fight. Trying to see here in this replay which angle he ends up approaching from, because I don't believe he got sucked in by that vacuum wall combo. Gets tossed in, I believe. Thompson tosses it in to just completely his death. So nice catch there from Thompson. He's able to immediately blow up the Luna, identifying who the damage dealer is going to be, and through the Eclipse, very easily getting the kill. Second hook shot out from Soxa after the first one was just a thing of beauty to be able to make sure they get that follow-up kill onto Quinn. And now it's going to be Quincy Crew looking for return for vengeance after they've lost the Usurper. Sumail breaks the smoke, only sees Elo away. Knows that there's going to be more heroes here, though. Nice ward placed down. Does scout Soxa, but Seb hiding in the trees. Sumail's looking to force him away just with the illusions alone.
Initiation for the Phoenix here. There's no egg. Oh, actually just got it. No tail. Can use it again. He wants to put himself in position right behind him. They're giving them no chance to retreat. They're stuck in those cogs. What are they going to do? Literally destroyed there. All three at once. Those supports pretty much winning the fight for them. Spin to win. I mean, it was honestly just No Tail and Soxa there. Condemning Quincy, crushing them because they chose to go in a choke point like that.
Yeah, and then of course having that second hook shot just for the insult, really, is going to possibly condemn Quincy Crew here. 11k net worth lead. You got buyback on at least 2 of your cores, but Quinn without buyback and Elder Dragon form or BKB for some time now. So there goes the Fortify already. Top lane, MSS is trying to stop No Tail from split pushing. I think he missed. Probably connected the bushwhack, but No Tail just tipping him anyways. No Tail's just here to cut the wave. They're eventually going to want to bring more pressure here.
You know she's winning when they bring out the tips. First you tip, then the voice lines, then is the fountain dive.
Then it's the fountain dive, yep, in that order.
Let's see if this game they can afford to do that as well. I mean, I think Quincy still has a chance to bring this back, not gonna lie, but it's a tough one, right? You have a good single target initiation, decent save, but it won't work against the Axe. What Quincy needs to do is just be able to organize themselves appropriately against this incredibly annoying vacuum and Berserker's Call. If they're able to take a fight on their own terms with the lines that they want, with DK Doom in front, Luna a bit back, being able to put out damage, Hoodwink and the advantage of saving people left and right, it's still possible for them. It's just so difficult to do that against a haphazard OG.
Yeah, and the builds that they've gone for here on OG are making this game really difficult for them to play. Thompson decided against going straight into that Crimson Guard that he had queued up initially, but Sumail did itemize, I think, quite beautifully this game. Of course, the Vanguard, the Manta, the Blink, the Shard, but straight into the AC immediately after. Helps out their push, helps defend against the Luna, helps you get through all that armor of hers as well as the DKs. So really, really nice items and a good itemization here. Sumail now, the King with his second life, so long live the King twice. Will be able to even jump in further aggressively here, especially after he completes this overwhelming blink. Already clocking in at 3,000 HP. Is going to be looking to pick up a bit more after that Reaver.
But hey, if history has taught me anything, is that kings die when you least expect it. So it's the turn for the Usurper to start doing his thing. Let's see what Big Bro can do now.
It's hard though, Avo, because we can't put him out of position. We don't have like a mag. We don't have a tiny, right? Like he's gonna have his team, and now with 3,400 HP, I don't know how we get through him his first life, let alone the second life here, especially with so much healing coming through. It's gonna be difficult. Quincy are quite facing an uphill battle here.
Oh, there's a smoke here. Sumail. What's he going to initiate on? If he catches Quinn, this is bad. Oh, the missed Berserker's Call is your chance, Quinn. They hit immediately. Hook shot stopped. There's no Berserker's Call. They're still dealing with a bit of damage, but not that big a deal. In fact, Supernova even got used here. It's not be a chance for Quincy Crew to walk back in. They still have their ultimates. They just need some stuns or something to deal with Sumail, but oh, even if now you can't go against them, I mean, I guess there's an Aegis, but what other chances will you have?
Thompson, by the way, just going into the demo mode tiny build. He's gonna figure out how quickly he can beat through these barracks. Moonshard queued up next after the Echo Saber S and Y. Of course, still getting this bonus attack speed from the Hand of Midas, but once more, holding on to the Elven Tunic, holding on and building up towards that Hyperstone. Love to see it.
Bushwhack. Okay, I mean they're trying their best at
look at the heals. What do?
You do nothing. Oh, in goes Thompson. There's the Eclipse used by Yawar. And Clips puts him in a pickle. Okay, they actually broke some mail. That's a lot of damage.
the
The
back
sharpshooter
wall.
with the vacuum puts him back in the wall. Luna needs to run away. She can't hit anything. In fact, she's close to the cogs. Saxa deals with the Yawar alone. As Samil only lost his first life. The Doom's been used on Sev, but he just wants to tank this. They go for Quinn, and Quinn falls. SVG won't last either. They even found to dive ever so slightly to get Lelis out of his comfort zone and
GG.
into the grave. OG will win game number 2. And 2-0 Quincy Crew.
Yeah, really convincing gameplay out from them. 2 fantastic drafts and solid gameplay to back them up here. I love the like watching Thompson back in his groove, you know, being able to go for these clever builds or these unique builds.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. And on we'll go. We'll go, finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest, echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. And on we'll go. We'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. And on we'll go.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide.